Hi, welcome to Back on Two Wheels. Um, it's Saturday, midday. I was hoping for a bit of sunshine. It doesn't look like it. In fact, if we look at what we're suggesting, if you can get that, there's a good possibility of rain. So, nothing new there then. Just going to nip round to the Triumph garage and see if I can maybe either get them to look or get them to book the bike in to find out what the issue is with that transmission fault that came up, see if they can reset it. Anyway, catch you on the road.
Okay. We've all stalled a bike before. But in all fairness, I didn't stall it trying to pull away. For some reason, I was checking the side stand and checking to make sure it was up. And I've knocked it slightly, and it's got like a cutout on it. So if you put the side stand down, the engine cuts out, and it's obviously quite sensitive. So there you are, it cut out. But like all the videos that I post, or so, you'll get it as it is. Mistakes as well. So there we are. Rough with the smooth. Enjoy the journey. At this point, I was a little bit confused as to whether or not the sat nav on the bike was giving me the right information. It turned out to be correct, but as I was approaching that junction, I thought, oh, it's saying turn right, and I thought that that was going to be the right. So, but I was wrong. That wasn't the right. This is the right one I just took. So, yeah, I've had some times with sat navs before where they're not quite up with you, and you sort of you go past the junction and then it says, oh, turn off at that junction. So, yeah, I was momentarily debating whether or not to turn right at that point or go straight across. But anyway, there we are. Nice bit of countryside. Well, villagey sort of looks, I suppose. We've got a little bit of joint up, look at me. A little bit of built up area, but I do like the country roads. I had the similar sort of thing in Holland, riding out there when I had the CRF out there. It's nice. It's nice to have the back roads as opposed to motorways and all the rest of it. So this one was a bit confusing as well. I didn't know which section had right away. There's no road markings or anything on it. So how weird is that? So here we are. Obviously up and coming. This was just a trip out to the Triumph garage in town, and the weather was semi-naff. Sunday was even worse, so ended up not going out on Sunday. But next weekend, hopefully, I'm saying next weekend, the weekend after this video was edited, I'm hoping to get out. It's suggesting there's an element of partially cloudy, and therefore, it means that there's a little bit of sun. Hey. So, looking forward to that. There's a lake that's meant to be quite nice, about 30 miles I think it is away, so little trip out to that, and then who knows, could be the into the Alps. We've still got some restrictions here, so I don't know what I'm gonna be allowed to do, let's put it that way. So we'll see. We will see. The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that the phone is not on, not being used for maps or anything else, and the reason for that, there is a good reason for that, is that I made an adaptation to the USB extension, the plug-in USB ports that I'd put on to start with, that goes up to, obviously goes up then to the quad lock and the charger on the quad lock. And in doing so, what I'd done is, because you had a lid, like a waterproof cover over the top, realistically for when it's not in use. And on the day that I came over to France, when we was having all the dramas, and all the water was flying around, and I was thinking to myself, that doesn't look good. We need to think of another way of either securing it or sealing it. So I decided to effectively cut a hole in the lid so that I could close the lid, thus closing access to one side, which I was then going to put a little slot into anyway, and then cut the opening out to suit the USB connection going in. Brilliant idea, I thought, and to some extent it was. However, I was using quite a sharp little knife to cut it away, and then I can remember trimming some more back, and what I actually ended up doing was slicing a bit of the edge of the USB connections. So when I plugged it in, I believe the terminals were loose and I think dropped and possibly bent over a little bit within the port, and I was sort of unaware of that until such time as just prior to this ride I plugged it in, only to find that it wasn't working. And so then I thought, oh, that's weird. I had a look in there and I could see the terminals bent over inside, and I tried the other side of because it's a dual port, tried the other side, that still wasn't working. So I believe what I may have done in the process of plugging it in and faffing around is I might have shorted out the fuse for the front, what I would call a cigarette lighter. It's an adapter of some sort, isn't it? A charging point. So there's a good chance that I've blown that fuse. I haven't checked it yet, but I will do, especially as I'll be going down to Triumph again anyway. If necessary, I'll get another fuse. So, yes, best laid plans and all that. I have done sort of a repair on it. So once I've checked the fuse and possibly changed it, I'll look to see if it works, because the charger, the only issue with the charger on the way down was that at some points it wasn't, I think the lid, which is like a waterproof lid over the charging point, I believe that was sort of like forcing the actual plug to move out of line and therefore lose contact. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be an update on another video. Maybe I won't need to update because you'll see the phone working or whatever. So I do prefer to see a map rather than turn by turn. It's quite visible there, it's just above the dash, and therefore I'm not having to look anywhere other for it, but it's nice to see the lay of the land, as it were, the way the roads, am I expecting sort of some bends in there? Is it a straight road for a long time? You can see what you're approaching, and I like that. I like to know what's ahead, as best I can. Anyway, we'll see what happens when I check the fuse. Okay, catch you later. At this point, I'd realised that I'd gone down the wrong side of the road, even though the Triumph sat-nav led me down this road. Looking at the numbers, they were going in the wrong direction. So scooted up the road anyway, looking for an opportunity to maybe, if there was a roundabout or whatever, but found myself a garage and decided to scoot round in there and make my way back down the other way. I was also a bit concerned about the front tyre pressure. For some reason that light also came up when I was leaving. Although the tyre felt hard, and there's one instance but then I could have been maybe on a bit of road that maybe had some roadworks in it, but I felt the wheel go a little bit at one point, and but no, the tyres seemed fine. Maybe it was the cold weather that did it, because the tyre pressure is down lower when it's cold, and it was extremely cold. So you never know. Maybe that was it. But nonetheless, I found the place anyway. It was actually just over the other side of the junction that I came in on, so it was close. Just a left turn instead of a right turn. So there we are. So, more dramas with the GoPro remote controller. Smart remote, no less. Not sure why. It starts them up. It's shown that there's still Wi-Fi there, or like a Wi-Fi connection between them. I just don't know why it doesn't work. I'm going to have to look into that and experiment some more. So anyway, got in there and eventually got to speak to the guy at the service desk who didn't completely understand me, and said send him an email. So today I've sent an email, so we'll see. I'm hoping to get in there next Saturday to have the transmission fault light looked at. Anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one. Take care and ride safe. See you later.